Latest trade rumors revolving the Washington Commanders are starting to escalate. We're going to be discussing on who could be the latest wide receiver for the Washington Commanders this upcoming season, revolving none other than the Baltimore Ravens. I'm your host, Azael Mejia, with Commander Digest, reporting everything all Washington Commanders, offseason, regular season, everything in between. So if you want to stay up to date all Washington Commanders, make sure to subscribe right here so you're caught up to date on everything Washington Commanders. As I said, we're trying to hit 500 subscribers by game 1 of the season. I know we can do it. We can do it. If everybody who watches the video subscribe, we can hit it. We can already be like more than halfway there. So come on. Make sure you subscribe, because sometimes, like I said, if I appear on your explore page, that doesn't mean you're subscribed to the channel. So make sure you subscribe for free. Just ding it. Don't even have to have notifications on. Just, baby steps. We're starting with baby steps. Watch the videos. You like it. You subscribe and that in between. But 500 by the first season. Comment down below if you made it this far. Another wide receiver? Question mark? Another wide receiver. Yes, you heard it right. Commanders are on the trade rumor to get another wide receiver. It sticks to the storyline, the ideology with the Commanders this all off season, is that ideology of just stacking up the offense as much as possible. So if there's an offensive player in the trading block, the Commanders have their ears wide open. They're listening. They're listening to what could be involved, because they're just trying to stack up the offense, trying to give Jayden Daniels much to work with as possible. It's not a Commanders Digest video if there's not a quote thrown in there. Strike when the iron's hot. You have a rookie. Well, look, I keep saying rookie quarterback. They're not gonna hit me. They grow up so fast. But back to the point. You have a guy second year on a rookie contract. Jayden Daniels, he played out of his mind. So you're trying to stack up. You're saving money right now before you have to pay up strike right here. Go get another offensive weapon. And it's someone that no one expected from the Ravens. And I'm discussing about none other than Rashod Bateman. Rashod Bateman, wide receiver, was drafted in the first round by the Baltimore Ravens in 2021. Some of his stats, we're going to look more into it, but some of his stats from last season include having 756 yards, 9 touchdowns. He put up 2 touchdowns in the playoffs for the Ravens. But it's just reports coming in that injuries and other factors have shown an issue in Bateman not being the star receiver that he was supposed to be, or the Ravens thought he would be when they drafted him in the first round 2021. We discussed in previous video before, revolving around the draft, is if you're gonna go get someone in the first round, they have to be an instant impact on the team. You know what I mean? It's your first chance on all these great players. A lot of them are the best ones in the positions. So by the Ravens mindset, they went to go get Rashod Bateman, was that first round pick, and based off, like I said, other factors we'll look into, his injuries have not led up to the hype that he was supposed to be for the Ravens. So the Ravens are looking to see if they can trade him off. Another factor is just based off the Ravens' ideology. They're already stacked in the offense, believe it or not. Maybe they don't have the same ideology as the Commanders are trying to stack it up to the max. But in some cases, many do believe the offense is already stacked, and Bateman just won't find himself in the rotation. Not in the rotation, but that's his numbers are going to decline more and more as the season go on. You have Lamar Jackson, obviously dual threat quarterback, can run. If you see, he can run, he can take it all the way, no problem. He can run, he can throw the ball. You have Derrick Henry, King Henry, big boy, running back right there. Duos already was right there. 2 dudes already touching the ball as it is. They already have a heavy touch on the ball. You have Zay Flowers, another wide receiver. They recently got him after Rashod Bateman, who just played out of his mind last season. He's truly believed to be the #1 wide receiver in Baltimore. And you have the dual threat of Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely in the tight end position. So it's looking more and more the better they're improving, that Rashod Bateman's touches could decrease within the next following season. So the Ravens are open to trading him. And like I said, the Commanders here offense, they go running. So we won't know if this mindset of the Commanders will work. For Commanders fans, they have not seen this in the longest, of just stacking up the offense as much as possible and not putting as much focus in the defense. I don't want to make that sound like a negative thing, but it's sort of what's happening. They're going for as much offense as they can. We won't know if it works until the end of the season. So let Adam Peters cook. I know he's been getting a lot of criticism for this decision making within the front office. Let him cook. He has not let us down before. And it's just trade rumors. So we won't know if anything goes into effect. As of right now, your boy's when it involves trade rumors or getting a play, I'm 0 for 15. So don't. But we'll go off of speculations. We're going to hit one. Sounds like I have an addiction, but it's one of them got to hit. So, as I said, Rashod Bateman is on the trading block on whether the Commanders get him or not is going to be tough to see. As we said, there could be a chance that they go get him. We're going to be looking at some of the latest reports, what people are saying about this decision making, and also looking at some of the stats that Rashod Bateman had put up last season. As I said, we're going to look a little bit closer. Played 17 games, health is wealth. He knows how to take care of his body, play consistent, healthy. He's 25 years old. He is young, super young, knows how to take care of his body. He has a lot of experience in the league. This going into 2025 is going to be his 4th year in the league. He has a ton of experience. 45 receptions above through 72 targets. You guys know I'm not a math major, but I'm pretty sure that's over 50% if I'm right. 9 touchdowns, 756 yards, 16.8 yards per reception. My boy is certified bucket. Certified bucket. Wrong sport, but you get the terminology. Every time touches the ball, it's a first down. Speaking of first downs, 35 first downs last season. Yards per game, 44. His longest rush is 59 yards. Great stats for a young guy coming in to this league. You know, he's been bothered with injuries and other factors. He's been getting his touches lower and lower every season. But we're going to be looking at what Anthony Palacio from Last Word on Sports had to say within the situation of maybe Bateman becoming a Washington Commander. Meanwhile, the Commanders are still rebuilding as well, even though they're in a good place since they went to the NFC Championship game last season. Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuels are the 2 lockdown wide receivers for Jayden Daniels' offense. But the 3rd spot is still up for grabs. Despite signing Michael Gallup and bringing back Noah Brown, while Luke McCaffrey could break out, nobody should count out the Commanders being aggressive during the 2025 season and getting Bateman. Just to break this down, as we said, you have, I want to say 1A and 1B. You have Deebo Samuels and Terry McLaurin as your receivers. You know, 1 or 2, you know what I mean, but they're just both great dynamic wide receivers. You have, as of right now of this recording, there's no bona fide certified 3rd spot, wide receiver 3 on the team. You see the mentions right there. The wide receiver room on paper for the Commanders is stacked. You have Noah Brown, Michael Gallup, Luke McCaffrey, Jalen Lane, who just drafted in the draft. You have all these guys that are going to be competing for that 3rd spot. And then in the mix, you got Rashod Bateman, who could see if there's a good chance if he goes to the Commanders, he has a realistic chance of making that spot. As I said, he has a ton of experience within the league. Going to 2025 will be 4 years in the league, which is great to see. He's a legit argument, and based on how well, if he gets to Washington, how well he fuses into the system, we'll see if he can battle for that wide receiver spot. We're also going to be looking at what John Harbaugh, the Ravens head coach, had to say about Bateman's game during the playoff season last year regarding his position in route running and being a consistent threat in the red zone. This is what John Harbaugh had to say about his game. It's a tight area. Things happen fast in the red zone, and a good route runner is a big deal. People assume it's just size, 50-50 and go get a ball type thing. But that value of route running in the red zone really goes up. Just breaking it down, his precision making, his route running is so good. His red zone coverage, once he hits the red zone, his ability to make a play just goes up. He's a great route runner. You see, but it makes sense for the Commanders, not for the Commanders, but for the Ravens to maybe jump off, try to see what they could get for him. Because in the red zone, you have 2 amazing tight ends in Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. So there could be no reason to have a wide receiver in that rotation. They have a wide receiver run. One, you got to share the ball with Derrick Henry. Lamar Jackson as well. He's going to either throw to all these other different receivers or he can just run it himself. So there's a situation. Can the Ravens make it work? What do you guys think in the comments down below? Do you think the Commanders it'll be a smart decision by the Commanders to go get Rashod Bateman, him fight for that wide receiver 3 position, or is the wide receiver room just so stacked, so many people already, that will make no sense for the Commanders to lose something in return for Bateman, or is it not worth it? As the Ravens are hopping off because they didn't see the hype behind him. Do you think it's the same thing by you guys' decision, that it's just not enough hype? He's not worth trading for? You guys let me know. That's all we can do is just comment, speculate. But if it does happen, I will be right here on the channel to report it. So as I said, I'm Azael Mejia with Commander Digest, and I'll see you in the next video.